Hey, welcome back to the AnKorage where everything is awesome, and this is Galactic Quest. Hey everybody, welcome back to Galactic Quest, and this is the video series that is a dedication or tribute to Ronald D. Moore's 2003 to 2009 iteration of Battlestar Galactica, and this edition is focusing on costuming and accessories. So why don't we take a look at a few things? Well, something very simple. I have here dog tags. These are two dog tags on a ball chain that has the Colonial Phoenix on it and the name and the serial number on the front, or the obverse, and on the reverse, you know, it actually says that it's from USA Cable. USA Cable Entertainment LLC, which is basically it's NBC Universal property. So there we go. And this is worn by all colonial military, and I happen to have a set here. I gifted a similar set to Donna Strike. That's her call sign, and what we also have here is we have a shirt. This is known as the double tank. And you're looking at the back side of it. The front side is like this. So why don't I put it on? Yeah, as if I can snap. Let me go put it on. And here we go. So here is the double tank. I put it on. Now, this is worn by all colonial military members. And some interesting facts about this double tank is that everybody says, well, it's just a reversed racerback. No, this is a special custom cut. So just for this production. This fabric is it's very flexible, boing, 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 and it's this particular item is this piece that I have. It was made by the same company that made these shirts for the show. So it's the same material. And therefore, it is what Anovos did, creating an authentic replica. Authentic meaning the same materials. And that's what this is. And Anovos is the company that I purchased it from for $35. And that was back, nearly 10 years ago. So I've had this for that long. And so there we go. And in the original show, or in the show itself, the cut of it went down to the waist and stopped. Now these were actually made a little bit longer, a couple inches longer, because people would want to drape them like so they could actually have them as like a regular t-shirt. But for me, for this, I just roll it up like so, just to have a little more authentic-y kind of look. And it's just more comfortable that way. But you see these throughout the show, through many episodes. This is essentially an undergarment, and it's two pieces. You have this shirt here, which is a base layer shirt, which you do see on a couple of occasions during the show, and then you have this portion here, which gives it that unique appearance. So I have this, and this is an undershirt, so that it's very, very comfortable to wear, and it's really beneficial for really hot days outside because it's sleeveless, so that helps a lot. But of course, with me, I'm kind of an indoorsy kind of guy typically, so you can see my driver's tan on my arms. Either that or it's just all the hair on my arms, but in either sense. But these are typically worn as undershirts, and then in a lot of shots and stuff like that, the officers put on their officer jackets, their uniform jackets, over this with no other shirt, and that makes sense because of how those are made. And Anovos actually did sell those. However, I didn't go for that because, if you wanted an authentic replica of a colonial military dress uniform or just a duty uniform, you'd be paying upwards of $800. And I wasn't going to spend that. And so that gives a little bit of uniqueness to Battlestar Galactica. They had the double-breasted fold-over piece that came across here and then down, and the Mandarin collars, and they were beautiful pieces of costuming. But because of the cost, I wasn't actually going to go that route. I could actually probably get something through Etsy, but I'd be paying similar prices. If anything in the cheaper amounts, $300 to $400, yeah, that's still expensive, but the authenticity may not be there. Measurements might be just a little bit off. What Anovos was doing was that they'd go the extra route because it would be custom tailored to your dimensions or to your measurements. So you would actually have to do a full tailoring measurement regime or regiment, however you want, whatever that is. And you'd have to give that to them, and they would do the cuts to those measurements, and that added to that cost, or what brought that cost up, because you would have a very form-fitting costume, and it was really good. So some other pieces. I have a couple of pieces here. I have rank pins, and these are authentic replicas. And this one here, they're in presentation boxes, jewelry presentation boxes with cut corners, and this one is of the rank of captain, so the officer rank captain. And this is 24 karat gold plated and nickel plated as well. And this is my rank. And I picked that rank for personal reasons that I'm not going to share here. But, it has to do with family. So there we go. And then I have a larger box, and it's black. And these are what Anovos identified them as are elite pilot wings, and this is the presentation box for that. And when we look inside, we have a little piece sticking up, and then you have the actual wings on it. It's the same as on the rank pins. You got a little piece, and it's lifted up, and the wings are right inside. And we also have the Colonial Phoenix on the top part, and that is due to duplicate how it actually appeared on the show. And this is, just like with the rank pins, this is actually gold plated and nickel plated. So that's how I did that there. Now, why did I pick these ones to have? Well, being a pilot, I picked those because of the winglets on the sides. They're more convincing, and they're more reminiscent of wings from today, from the military, because those ones are just, wings with a shield. And this here, it's like wings with, whatever kind of shield this is in the center. I don't know what that particularly is, or what it actually serves, nothing like that. But it's got the wings poking out the sides, and that's why I picked it. And of course, Battlestar Galactica didn't actually come out until 2003. I, being a pilot, earned my wings, 10 years before that. Unbeknownst to the production, I earned these wings 10 years before this, Battlestar even came out. So these are my wings. And I've actually purchased a separate set like this, which has a magnet back, and it's just plastic, and it's made in the same style. And this one is for non-formal events, or just for banging around, just to wear. So I keep those in the same box, and I keep that there. So there's that. So there we go. And we are going to be moving on to the next piece. Alright, so in the final episode of Battlestar Galactica, which is everybody knows as Daybreak, who has followed the show, Lee Adama wears a light jacket, and it doesn't have much screen time. And however, Anovos thought it maybe necessary, but the fans would like to have that jacket. Here it is. Here's that jacket. It's not the actual jacket from the episode, so don't harp on me for that, because this is it's a fighter bomber / whatever style jacket, and it has patches, and it has a Colonial Phoenix on it, and this is for it's got a squadron patch right here, and it's got the patch for the Flight Training Academy over here on the left shoulder, and this was worn by Lee Adama in it, and this is a real jacket, and this is actually worn in lighter temperatures, which we're coming up on fall pretty soon here. And of course, this video is coming out at the beginning of November, so very apropos, very appropriate for that. And it's got the tags in it for Anovos, and it tells you it's made in Taiwan. It's 65% polyester, 35% cotton, made in Taiwan, machine wash, cold, tumble dry, medium, warm iron. And it's got that, and it's got the actual identification tag for Battlestar Galactica and Universal Network Television 2014. So yeah, I've had this for nearly 10 years. And I wear this every year, every spring, every fall, and on when the temperature's cooperating during the winter. But during the winter months, I'll actually be wearing a fleece zip-up underneath it, just for that added insulation. And this is very nicely insulated on the inside, and it's quilted, and it has an inside pocket. And it's got pockets on the outside, and it's got a zipper. Now the funny thing about the zipper is that, for guys, you would typically expect the zipper, the actual piece you bring up and down, would be on the right hand side. This is actually, the zipper is actually on the left side on this. So typically in women's fashion, zippers are on the left, and men's is on the right. And of course, this is essentially backwards in my eyes. But at the same time, when I put in the order, I used my name, and obviously, my name is Ivan, and it's spelled Y-V-O-N because I'm French Canadian. So therefore, here in the States, the spelling of my name isn't male, it's female. It's the female spelling. Therefore, my name is Yvonne to everybody. And so when I get spam calls and stuff like that, I'll be like, no, nobody here lives by that name. And I'm right. Nobody here lives by the name Yvonne. My name's Ivan. However, up in Canada, I never have a problem because it's pronounced exactly the way it's supposed to be. Yvonne. Because I'm French Canadian. I'm French. So there we go. I am awesome. I'm just kidding. But I'm not. But I don't have a problem in Canada. No matter where I go. It could be over in Nova Scotia. It could be in Quebec. I'm directly south of Quebec. Very appropriate. Because my lineage goes through Quebec. Let's just say I go back to one of the first settlements of the continent. First European settlements of the continent. And the English didn't like that very much. They kicked us out. Well, my particular lineage line, we ran. We just got the heck out of Dodge. And we moved over into New France. And went from New France down to near here in New Hampshire a couple hundred years ago, I think. Yeah. But needless to say, this is about costuming. So this is that piece. Here we have a utility belt. These utility belts are worn by colonial military members, and this is an authentic replica made by I'm going to take a wild guess, made by the same company in Taiwan. And on the buckle here, it has an embossed colonial phoenix, and it also says on it, and it's embossed, not in direct view, but somewhere on here, it says for cosplay only, costume play. But it is authentic, it is military grade, and it operates just like it's supposed to. And it came with, the belt, and it came with little pouches. Got a couple of them here. I don't currently wear that one. Got this one. Currently don't wear this one. I do put on a couple of the others, and because I do use them. And one in particular is my car key. I keep my car key in it. And during the warm months of the year, I actually wear this, and I actually went out to Amazon and I purchased this pouch because I can keep my cell phone in it, I keep my wallet in it, and everything like that. So here's my wallet. Yeah, and for those who keep wondering if I'm a pilot or not, here's my license. So there we go. It's got my address on it, there's personally identifying information on it, so I'm not going to be showing it up close. And that's just to protect myself. And too bad for you, I held it up, I showed it to you, and that is good enough because I say so. This also has, a tag for care and identification tag, a Novos. The company by the name of a Novos does not use that name anymore. Today it's Duo Novo. And today they focus on, I can't really say authentic replicas, but I think so. Replicas regarding Star Wars in many different aspects. Battlestar was one of the first ones, I think, that they were doing back in 2012 through 14, 15, something like that, until they just ran out of stock, and they moved on because and this is what they told me, there was no interest in Battlestar anymore, which I get, but at the same time, for the diehard fans, they would want it. And there is a very far few, and there wouldn't be a heck of a lot going on, and they would be holding on to stock, but whatever. But so I've got this belt here, And it also came with 2 of these. These are sidearm holsters. And so you've got the portion up here that hooks onto the belt, and then you've got the holster itself, and then you've got leg straps down at the bottom. So why don't I take a moment and I'll get this in. Alright, so here I am wearing my utility belt. I wear this during the summer months because I carry this pouch that I bought off Amazon to carry my wallet, my cell phone, and any other little papers and stuff like receipts. I can stuff them into there and not have to worry about bulging out my pockets with my stuff. So here we go. So, and as we look over here, we've got here's my car key. I actually have a mag light in here. And then there's this. Here's the holster. This is the sidearm holster. Now this actually came with 2, so I could have 1 on each side. But I'm not like Starbuck. I don't double fist stuff. Whether it be beer, whatever, stuff like that. I'm not dual wielding. I'm not dual fisting and nothing. So I've got this side right here. It's forward a little bit because my car key is right here, and I'm not going to take that off. I just want to demonstrate what this looks like. So here is the actual holster right here, and this is leading up to my next part, which is actually going to be a review of something that I just recently bought off of Etsy, and that would actually be a sidearm cosplay piece that actually goes into that holster. So why don't we talk about that? I recently made a purchase off of Etsy from an outfit called BP Studios on Etsy, and BPSFX, etsy.com/shop/BPSFX. So there we go. And the woman's name is Brianna. Very pretty name, by the way. So, but I actually purchased something from her that goes into that holster, and for the sake of example and stuff like that, in the cosplay community at cons, conventions, and things of that sort, all of these things have to have something that clearly identifies it as a cosplay piece, and they use zip ties on weapons. So I am going to put this zip tie on the item before I actually show it. So there we go. All right, I've got it on there. So now, and it clearly identifies this item as a cosplay piece, and it is actually the sidearm from the miniseries, and it definitely is. And this is it right here. It's the pistol, and so I've got my little identifier zip tie thing hanging here, right there. There it is. So this is absolutely fake. This is a solid resin cast model, as it were. And this model piece is in 2 pieces. And you've got the main body, and then the other part is the actual handle grips right here. These are the kit itself, and from the observation on it, it would appear that the resin kit, it was white or off-white, something like that, and that's one piece. And then you've got the actual handle part of it. This actually appears like it came to Brianna already pre-painted and everything like that, and all she had to do was just slide it on, screw it on, and be done with it. So, and all she had to do was actually apply the paintwork on it. That would be the black base coat, and then going back over it with dry brushing. Now, dry brushing is when you take your paintbrush, you dip it in the paint, get some paint on there, not a whole lot, and then on a rag or a napkin or something, you wipe it all off, and you're still left with some paint on the bristles, obviously. But then what you do is you take that brush and you go over it. You just dab, and then you can wipe away a little bit, stuff like that. That's called dry brushing, and that is what was done here. That method is what was applied here, and that was to give weathering effects, or wear effects, but it's weathering. To try to give it a little more authenticity kind of look, stuff like that, and that is definitely what this is. And about the actual item itself, the pistol itself, this design is actually built off of a revolver. And if you go to Battlestar Wiki, for which I am a patron, and you look up small arms for the Reimagined series, which is the Ronald D iteration, it'll actually discuss this particular piece. This particular design was used in the miniseries and part of the first season before they switched it out. And that is because this piece is actually designed off of a revolver, an old revolver. And in part of that design, they actually had to remove the chamber casing. They had to remove the actual section where the bullets are held. And for the sake of the series, they wanted something that actually looked unique and stuff like that, and had like two barrels. And this has two barrels. It has your main round barrel, which is the top one, and then you had another barrel underneath it, but that is a special purpose. That section is supposed to be for an explosive round, a single explosive round that's housed right there, and then you're supposed to flick a switch or something, and then when you pull the trigger, it fires that one, and it shoots that round out, and that explodes on whatever hits. So it's almost kind of like a miniature grenade launcher, but it's an explosive round launcher, firing mechanism. And this is absolutely fake because the trigger doesn't move. Here I'm trying to pull it and it's not moving. So when I purchased this from Brianna, it was a quick turnaround, and I happened to mention that to her, and I'm like, hey, that was a nice quick turnaround and everything like that. And she's like, well, I already had the kit. All I had to do was paint it. So that was it. So that was. She's like, hope you like it. And I'm like, yeah. This is a fantastic cosplay piece, and the quality of it is very, very good. And this actually fits in the holster very nicely, and I'll demonstrate as I've got it right here. It's got the holster has I don't know if it's a safety, but a security strap of sorts that's velcroed on the inside. And then you've got a release right there. You push in on it and it unlatches. You take it out, and then you can take your weapon and you can place it in the holster like so, and then you take that strap and you bring it back over and you reattach it until it snaps, and there it is. And it sits in there nicely, and so that when you want to actually draw your weapon, it's just like today's holsters. You have to unlatch it. Of course, this is brand new, effectively, so it's a little tough. You unlatch it, boom, and then you can pull your weapon out. So, but that's how that sits. And that was good. So there we go. And you can see people, in Battlestar walking around with their weapons holstered, and you see them undo them and things of that sort. Like I said, Starbuck, she double fists everything, so she's bang, 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 and so on and so forth. Excuse me. However, it is a costume piece, and it's completely fake, and right there. In the second season and on, the production team is like, well, we're going to have situations where they need to be firing these things off repeatedly, bang, 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 and we need a prop that we can actually use. We need a weapon we can actually use that satisfies that. So they actually moved to semi-automatic weapons that, of course, could only fire blanks. And the interesting thing is that you see the front end of the barrel of these weapons very often, and they are the equivalent of .22 caliber because the size matches, and they only fire blanks, and then they use a sound effect for them as well, and in other weapons and such like that, they use sound effects, and they all fire blanks. And so Battlestar Wiki actually describes those weapons even more on what they're designed from and how they operate to a degree, but in how they were used in the show. So there's that. When I actually made the purchase, Brianna actually wrote me a little note, and and it's in a kind of like a teal bluish sea blue green, whatever kind of ink, and it's live ink. So she actually wrote this by hand because it's using one of those gel tips. And thank you so much for choosing to support our business. We hope you enjoy your new Battlestar Galactica handgun prop as much as we enjoyed making these. Please consider leaving us a review, as we are a growing shop. -3. So that's the note that I got here from Bree. So my personal message to Bree: thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is a fantastic piece and everything like that. The quality of the paintwork is top notch, excellent. Excuse me, I got cough issues, but thank you very much for this prop replica, and I don't have any purpose for actually wearing it out at a con or anything like that. I don't go to cons. But for Halloween, fantastic. I got that, great. Yeah, I don't have the safety orange zip tie, but I can certainly order some. But I've got a red zip tie on it, so right now. So, since I'm a computer geek and I've got stuff that needs zip ties, so I just threw one of those on, and so that satisfies that requirement. And there we go. On Etsy, I have given the review 4 stars out of possible 5. The only reason, and this is no fault to Brianna, however, it's a completely solid piece, and I knocked off 1 star because of the trigger. It doesn't, it's not a functioning trigger, meaning it doesn't click. It doesn't move, and then you don't get a click action on it. That is the only thing about it. But that's not Brianna's fault. But it does suffer just that little piece. Of course, I have no doubt that there are moving trigger pieces, props out there, or prop replicas out there. But of course, that would make the kit a little more expensive. An unfinished kit could probably go for $20-30 maybe, and then you do all the handwork of hand painting and weathering and stuff like that, and assembly, and that explains that. And there we go. So yeah, 4 stars, fantastic. And the lack of a 5th is because there's just no moving trigger. And this was actually purchased for, I don't know if I can actually find it, but it was, if I can get that to get off of there. Yeah, there we go. All right, there's that. And moving back here and moving back off of there. Where's my purchases? Total or order total $150. Okay. Let's talk about the cost of it a little bit. An unfinished prop replica would be far less than what was actually the cost, the final cost of it. Because as you can see with my vessels collection in my previous video, I've got that unfinished Viper Mark II, and that was $20. This item would be similar. I could probably actually see this item upwards of like maybe $50 or $60 unfinished, and then the rest of it is overhead and the handwork involved on finishing it and everything like that, and then of course there's the amount, the markup, the profit markup, stuff like that. So it's completely understandable. $150. Is it actually worth $150? No, it's not. But for the work that was done to get the final piece of it, and overhead and everything I've mentioned, yeah, that's right around the price point that it would be expected for something like this. So I'm not faulting Brianna for anything on that. Thank you again for the little note, and it's very cool and everything like that. And I happen to look at, of course, I'm nosy, so of course, from our conversation through SC, great, you got a picture that I can actually put a face to your name, and yeah, thank you very much for putting your face on your picture for your username, user account on Etsy and everything like that. And I don't do mine just because, I don't think there's really a need to. I don't produce, so there's that, and I don't actually use a business logo or anything like that. That's just the logo of the home, and there we go. But very pretty face. I'll say that. So there we go. All right, I've taken the utility belt back off, and I took the holster piece back off right here. This is going to be going back into the box with the replica handgun, and that'll be going back into the closet. I keep the box that this belt came in, so I could store the pieces to it in there, and I keep it in my closet. So here we go. Should I ever need it? Halloween, conventions, what have you. So there we go. And when you load that utility belt up with stuff like that, it gets heavy. So so when you see cops out there and you see those utility belts that they wear, and you see all the stuff they've got on those belts and stuff like that, yeah, that's heavy. So they wear them well, and it's very useful stuff. Yeah, you got their handgun, they got their handcuffs, extra rounds, but they've got other things on those belts that are actually useful, like maglite perhaps, and other things. Was it the radio holster thing? Stuff like that. So that is my costuming and accessories video for Galactic Quest, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope Brianna enjoyed the review of the handgun, and that is going to do it for this video. So I've got more coming up. I just have to decide to what parts of it. One of it will be about the media that I have, DVDs and stuff like that, but that won't be nearly as long as these previous two have been. So there we go. And if you have made it all the way to this point, give me 2 pineapples. I would greatly appreciate it. So there we go. So why don't you come on back in the future, and we'll see you then. So thank you very much. Skál.